Don't really need to put it on the Russian woodpecker. That thing's pretty well done for. So now when you look at the map, everything you see here can affect the weather. It can affect the ionosphere. In fact, there's a new one that's not even on the map yet. The biggest radio telescope ever. The newest one built. So you got the Japan. This is a circular phased array antenna. There's a brand new one over here. It's not this. There's a brand new one, the bigger one. I've covered it several times. Got the VLF transmitters. Here's the Sura ionospheric heater facility. I mean, they're everywhere. They're all across the place. You know, they're calling this one that I talk about all the time, the X-mount. They're calling it a VLF transmitter. Check this out. These antennas are like, they used to be the tallest antennas on the planet. And you can see when they ramp this thing up, because it eats away all the clouds. Or it ripples them. You know, the meteorologists say they're microwave clouds. They're not microwave clouds. They're being hit with radio frequencies, microwaves, different kinds of frequencies. Even New Zealand, they got an antenna array. You know, for the billionaire bunkers that are being built. It's called the Tiger 3 system. You actually got some here on Tasmania, more Tiger 3 systems. You know, and we don't have the cloud ionizers on here. Farmers can get cloud ionizers for their farms. And they got a big one down here in Peru. This is a 4.5 megawatts. Check it out. You can zoom in. They got a super darns over here. Tucked away in the mountains where you can't get to it. So you got several antenna arrays over here. So these are scatter radars, and you got the super darn. Of course, you know, everybody thinks of just HARP, but man, there's so many more than HARP. When you got the Arecibo. I'm just kind of looking at some of these I haven't looked at before. Look at that antenna array over Brazil. See, all these things modify the atmosphere, which modify the weather. So you got the Arecibo here that got ripped apart by a cord. It wasn't by the weather. You know, the weather never hits this thing hardly ever. It's been damaged a few times, but rarely. The storm just happened to steer right around this thing. Now, they had a cable break not very long ago, and it ripped the side out of this thing. So it's like down right now. That's why we're not having hurricanes. The Arecibo Enhanced HF ionospheric heating instrument is broke down. You know, they kept calling for above average hurricanes, then they even upgraded again to even more hurricanes. But then the Arecibo got messed up. I haven't seen them get back on here and change their forecast. Now we got one that's more powerful. Now HARP's the most powerful ionospheric heater until the IceCat is built. You basically got 5 million watts, 5 gigawatts, 500 million, or I can't remember what that is. But over here, this is going to be the bad one over here, the IceCat. it's going to be, you know, like 1,000,000 times more powerful than HARP. Possible bending the jet streams. They also have a LiDAR over here for the aerosol ozone studies in the troposphere. LiDAR can affect the weather, just like, you know, just like ground penetrating radar. You also have the Tromso ionospheric heater over here. 1.2 gigawatts. You know, basically they want to turn this, it's not only for weather control, but they want to turn the whole ionosphere into a plasma antenna. And that goes along with the internet for everything. It's surveillance. You know, when I go watch over here to the Earth Knoll, when I put the grid on here, this is what they want. They want the grid. I don't know if you've seen that. But basically, if you ever watched the movie Geostorm, a stupid movie, but this is what they're trying to do. We're going to grid everything so they have complete control, complete access. Rain will be made to order. You'll have human no-go zones. So look at the energy for any storms to develop. So look, it's all down here in the Bajas of California. Where our severe weather will be. We can go up a day. See, they got some spin ups over here, but there's too much dust for any kind of hurricane to form. Plus the Arecibo ionospheric heater is down. Check out the wind power density. Wow, it's not working. So one thing I would like to check. Hold on, let me look this up here. Is it working on this? Okay. First we'll look at the winds. So we know the polar vortex winds are now right over Antarctica, but here in like a month or two, this thing's going to start shifting back up to the north. We put this on the temperatures. We already see a heating event going on. Now, this isn't our aurora. This is a heating event. This is how they steer the polar vortexes to change the seasons. So it's not like a real major heating event right now, but they're going to push this cold air mass and wind to where it's parked over the north, and we'll be officially in winter. I can see a light heating event right there over the Bering Sea. See, there's military exercises going on up there over the Bering Sea from Russia. Russia military exercises. Now, I wanted to look at the wind power density, but first we'll look at the jet stream power density. And if I just put it on regular winds, so here's some of the winds that are coming in. Right now we're looking at the jet stream. We can go down to the vortex layer. We can go down to around 4,000 feet. And then we can hit the surface winds. But there's going to be just some crazy wind stuff going on here over the next few days. If I move this up a day, things like, so here's some of the weird wind power density in the next couple days. I mean, we just got some really crazy wind formations here. Go up another day if it'll let me. Who's controlling the weather? The technocrats. They have weather derivatives. You know, they trade stocks and bonds according to the weather. You know, if you want to sell a bunch of building supplies, you bring in a tornado, bring in a hurricane. All the people at the top know about it.
There's your list of suspects.
Just like the scam-demic. They took out all the small ma and pop stores, but yet all the other mega corporations are getting richer while we all starve. Let's go ahead and look at the carbon monoxide from the fire. So here's what we're looking at. We're in the black. It looks like the whole fault line and all the is on fire. We're almost as bad as the Amazon. Hell, the Africa is not as bad as the United States right now, and neither is China. Looks like most of the fires have gone out up in Russia, so they got control of their stuff. We can see the carbon dioxide surface concentrations, the worst on the planet. Southern California in the green. Nowhere on the planet is it that high, but Southern California. Take a look at the particulates.
Hi. Want to come up here?
So we still have the Sahara dust blowing in. And this is pretty much stopping any hurricane from forming. And without the Arecibo up and running, you know, not a whole lot of ionospheric heating going on here, creating the compression events, which creates the wind and the heating events.